What's going on, everybody? My name is Laura. I'm the lead social media strategist for Boom by Cindy Joseph, and I'm back with you for round 2 of our new blog series, How'd We Do, where we go over our email analytics for the campaigns for the month. So right now we're going to do September 2019, and let's dive right in. I want to show you how we did. So as a recap, the things that we look at when we're looking over our campaigns to see if we did well for the month or not are our deliverability and our benchmarks. And we look at both the industry-wide, so the beauty industry benchmarks, and our own. So we'll compare them to, how our campaigns typically do over time and compare them to each other. So for deliverability, I want to go over these benchmarks that dictate your deliverability, whether your email is getting to the inbox or not, right? So for unique open rates, you want to see 20% or more. If you see under 20%, between 10 and 20, there's a little bit of room for improvement there. And critical, you really want to do something about it, is less than 10%. When we look at unique click rates, we want to see 4% or more to know we're in the good. Room for improvement would be under 4, so 2 to 3. And then if we have less than 1% unique click rates, we want to look at that. It's pretty critical. Our bounce rate, we want to see less than 0.5%. Room for improvement would be up to or between 0.6 and 1%. And if we see a bounce rate of 2% or more, we definitely want to pay attention to that one. For our unsubscribe rate, we want to see less than 0.3%. For our room for improvement for our unsubscribe rate would be between 0.4 and 0.9. And if it's over a 1% unsubscribe rate on our emails, that's critical. We want to take a look at it. And last but not least, our spam rate. So spam rate, to be in the good, we want to see less than 0.08%. Room for improvement, 0.08 to 0.15%. And critical, if we see 0.15 or more spam rate, we want to take a look at that one. So we look at our emails both on a per month basis and a per email basis. This is in our campaigns overview in our email analytics in Klaviyo, where I have set up the cards that we look at these metrics monthly. So this is overall all of our campaigns sent for September, what their averages are. So I want to break this down a little bit, and we'll look at our deliverability benchmarks as well and compare them. So again, unique open rates, we want to see over 20%. And let's look at that here. We'll see our average daily open rate is 17.7. So this is where there is room for improvement. And with our unique open rates, or with open rates, we're going to look at split testing, maybe subject lines and preview text. That's going to help our open rates. The next one here we're going to look at is our click rate. Daily average click rate is 6.06. So we're good there. Our bounce rate, right here, 0.23, so it's less than 0.5, which is excellent. Our unsubscribe rate, we want to see less than 0.3, and it is 0.16, so we're good there. And our spam rate, 0.01, so we're excellent there on our spam rate. So overall, our deliverability looks like it's doing really, really well. Something we could work on, as I said, are our subject lines and our preview text, which is going to look like this. Within Klaviyo, we would just set up a variation and change that second subject line and make sure down here at the bottom, we have it chosen for open rate. So overall campaign deliverability, I give us a pass. I think we did pretty good there. Overall, our emails are getting to the inbox. So now let's look at it at a campaign level basis. So really quick, I want to go over the benchmarks in the beauty industry overall. We're actually doing a lot better than most in the industry. We're doing better than the average in the industry. But as a benchmark, as kind of a flat line, we want to make sure our average open rate is above 10.8%. Our average click-through rate is above a 1%. And our average placed order rate is above 0.1%. So those are what we're going to look at to kind of gauge whether or not we should be concerned about these emails or if they're doing really, really well. An average for us, just within our own email, is about 20% open rate we see, and about I want to say 2 or 3% click-through rate we see. That's really, really good. So let's go in and look at it at a campaign level. So overall, in September, we sent 17 total emails. 5 of them were a product launch or a sale. And this is not a overall product launch. 5 of them fell in September. 5 of them, or more of them actually, fell into August. So I'm not going over the whole campaign here. I just wanted to note that 5 of them did fall in September. 7 of them were blog posts. 1 of them was a pre-sale. 2 of them we remailed an email that we had already mailed to an unopened segment. 1 of them was a digest where we take the best content from the month and put that into one email and mail that to our engaged list. And 1 of them was a giveaway email. So let's take a look at those emails. Our product launch, the 5 of them, looked like these here. Our blog posts, which looked like this. And you'll notice that we kind of theme our blog post emails and our sale emails. All of our emails, really, the theme of them will have a different design on them. So when someone gets them in their inbox, they kind of know that they like this one, or it's just branded like a little bit differently, so they know that the content in there, they can, they can notice that content and be like, oh, I like the sustainability emails, I'm gonna read this one. Or I know this one's an article because this is how it usually comes in. Just kind of like training their brain to go to the ones that they like to see, right? And then these are the rest of the blog posts here. Our pre-sale email looked like this. And our pre-sale email, now those other ones go to the blog, sale goes to the sale page, right? Our pre-sale email, we actually create a pre-sale page, which looked like this here. And you'll see we have all the content up top there with a little sticky call to action on the right-hand side. And then all the content, and then more calls to action on the bottom. And then we had our digest, which looked like this here. A little bit of a longer email, but you see we take our best performing blog posts and throw them all into one email. And send that to the whole list, the whole engaged list at the end of the month, and that one does really well. And then we had one giveaway, which we ran for, I believe, 3 weeks and mailed on to notify our subscribers that there was a giveaway going on. So that was just to show you what all of our campaigns looked like, to give you a little bit of detail of what they looked like when they go out. Now I want to take a deeper look into each individual one. So let's go over the campaigns that concerned me a little bit first when I looked at them. If we look at this here, this is a report that I download from Klaviyo monthly, which has the campaign names on it, the subject line, the lists that they were sent to, and then all of their metrics, their open rates, their click-through rates, the spam rate, etc. And when I look at this, what I see, the first thing I see is that 10.5 open rate, which is a little bit concerning to me. And then when we look at the whole thing, we see that it is our last day sale email. It went to all active subscribers. So if you've been through our smart email marketing course already, you know that we don't often send to all of our subscribers. It's not a good plan in general. You don't want to send to unengaged people often, but we do it once in a while when either we're putting on a sale or we have something that we really want to tell everybody, send it to the entire list. Again, smart email marketing, the course, you would know that, but let's dive back into here. When we look at this email, it looked like this. This is our Boomcom sells out at midnight email. And if we look at these metrics over here, we see 10.6% open, so 34,000 people open this, which is average, a little bit above average, industry average that is. We see 0.7% clicked, which is a little bit below average. We see 0.1% placed an order, which is, again, average. But look at that revenue, 31,000 in revenue came from this one email, even though it was one of the lowest percentage of open rates. So what I learned from this is maybe it's time to clean our main list. So, and what I mean by that is if we're only getting a 10% open rate on all these people, but there's very high revenue, we might want to clean the list again of anyone who hasn't opened our email in a long time. Maybe they're bot emails, or maybe they're the wrong emails, maybe they're bouncing, things like that. We want to make sure that our emails are getting into the inboxes of people who are actually opening them. And the whole list We want to make sure it's clean, not too clean. We don't want everyone to be super engaged on that list, but we want them to be engaged enough, right? So that'll drive our open rates up and our click rates up. And this is something else that we teach in Smart Email Marketing 2.0 on how to clean your list the best way. So another thing I noticed here when we're looking at these open rates and click-through rates are these lower open rates here. Now, these are not a crazy cause for concern because they are above 10%, but they are lower than our typical average. So I want to go in, I want to see why they would be like that. And the first thing I noticed is they were sent to an unopened list. And my takeaway from that is remails typically have lower open rates. That's just kind of, we're resending an email we've already sent to a segment that did not open that first email with a different subject line. So those typically just have lower open rates. But what we could do is we could play with that unopened segment to exclude our recent purchasers and create a more engaged segment. And test those subject lines in preview text. Maybe for the unopened, we should have a more compelling subject line and preview text and see if, maybe a drastically different one, and see if it's able to increase our open rates for that. Now let's look at the good stuff. The first thing that caught my eye from these campaigns here is this almost 26% open rate, 25.65. And then when I look at it, it doesn't really surprise me that much because it is a giveaway and the subject line is who wants free boom, right? So we're compelling them to open our email. So a 25.6% open rate on that one doesn't surprise me too much, but I want to show you what that email looks like. This here, there's actually no way to get to the store here. We send them right to a landing page to get their email to put them on the giveaway and show them how else they can enter the giveaway. So I want to go back and show you the revenue from this. It was almost $13,000. But again, if you look at this email, there's no call to the store. It goes right to a landing page. It looks like this for their email address. And by the way, we have this template available if you use our tool Zipify Pages to copy our giveaway strategy. Okay, so if we look at the analytics of that email, we see that 25% open there on the top left, 4.5% clicked. That is a great click-through rate. 0.1% of people placed an order. Again, nowhere in this email did we ask them to place an order, so that's pretty cool. And almost $13,000 in revenue, very low bounces, over a 99.7% successful deliveries of this email. My takeaway from this is it works, and we'll do it again, but not too much. We don't want to offer giveaways too often. It's a really good plan to capture emails and create excitement for maybe another campaign we're doing. We did this one right before another sale to kind of get more emails, get more people on our engaged list. So it's a really good strategy for that. Next up, another thing I noticed, our 25% open rate here. And this actually was a blog post. It went to our engaged list, and the subject line was 10 pro age ideas for your bucket list. This one got a 3% click-through rate. It did really, really well. This is what it looked like here. And it went to a pretty long blog post actually, where it had 10 ideas for a bucket list. And by the way, if you are on Shopify, you can use Zipify Pages to create this type of blog post as well, which is where we create all of our blogs. So if we look at the analytics for this email, we'll see that it has a 25% open rate, which is amazing, a 3% click-through rate, which is also fantastic, a 0.1% of placed order, which is right on average. We're good with that one. So our takeaway here is more blogs with this topic, and maybe we'll turn this into a pre-sale. So overall, our campaigns did really well in September, and I give us a pass. My name's Laura. This has been September 2019, How'd We Do in our email campaign marketing strategy. And if you enjoyed this, click the link below and it'll take you to our Smart Email Marketing course where we teach you our entire strategy for you to copy. I'll catch you in the next one.